Hello, today we are going to be doing double knitting. The yarn that I'm using is Red Heart yarn, solid colors. The needle size that I'm using is a US size 8 or a 5.0 millimeter. You'll notice I have already done my cast on, and I did a cast on of 10 stitches. Each stitch is 2 strands, one of each color. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and turn your work so that this is your left needle. And I want to point out that the 2 strands on the right and the 2 strands on the left, those 2 stitches are considered your edge stitch. For every row, we're going to knit these 2 strands together as if it's one strand, and we're going to purl these 2 strands together as if that is one strand. The reason why is it holds your edge together so that it's not 2 open flaps. And you'll kind of see that as you go. The rest of the stitches are considered your pattern stitches. When doing this, the color that you want facing towards you, you're going to knit on this first strand. And the color that you want facing away from you, you will purl with the second strand across the row. So you're always doing a knit and then a purl, knit and then a purl. With the exception of the first and last stitch, the edge stitches, it's always a knit and a purl. Let's begin. When holding your yarn in double knitting, you want to kind of hold both strands together, whether it's to the back or to the front of your work. For this first edge stitch, we're going to knit the 2 strands together as if it's one stitch. It's common to have these stitches very tight for your first row, so just kind of try and work it loose if that is the case. And then go ahead and bring forward the 2 strands from the back of your work onto your right hand needle, and then you can go ahead and slip the 2 strands off of your left needle. And that is your edge stitch. Now for this next piece, I've decided I'm going to keep the pink to the front of my work and the white to the back of my work, just because that's the color that it matches the strands, so we don't get confused. If I wanted white in the front, I would knit the pink strands and purl the white strands. So to start, I'm going to knit this pink strand, and because I want pink towards me, I'm going to use the pink strand to yarn over and then bring it forward. So I have the pink loop on my right needle. I'm going to slip the pink needle off of the left needle, and I'm going to bring my yarn to the front of my work, and I'm going to pick up the next strand, the white strand, and with that I am going to bring my white yarn that I want to the back of my work, and I'm going to yarn over and bring it through as a purl, and then slip that off of my left needle, and automatically I bring my yarn to the back of my work, and I'm going to knit the pink strand. So I'm going to grab my pink yarn, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through in a knit stitch. Then I'm going to pull that strand off of my left needle, bring my yarn forward for the purl stitch, pick up my white strand and bring my white yarn over to do the purl stitch. And then once that's on the right needle, I can take it off of the left, bring my yarn to the back of the work, pick up the next stitch and knit. And I'm going to knit with the pink. And then pull that strand off. Bring my yarn to the front. And I'm going to purl this stitch with the white. Bring my yarn to the back. I'm going to knit with my pink yarn. And then I'm going to bring my yarn to the front and I'm going to purl. Sorry, onto the camera, sorry. So I'm going to purl with the white yarn. And then I'm going to bring my yarn to the back of the work, going to knit with the pink yarn. And then I'm going to bring my yarn to the front of my work, and I'm going to purl with the white yarn. Bring my work to the back. I'm going to knit with the pink. Bring my yarn to the front. I'm going to purl with the white. Bring my yarn to the back. Going to knit with the pink. Bring my yarn to the front, purl with the white. Bring my yarn to the back, knit with the pink. Yarn to the front, purl with the white, and then I'm to my last two strands, which is my edge stitch. I'm going to keep my yarn to the front of my work, and I'm going to purl the two strands together as if it is one strand, just like so. And that is our first row of double knitting. And you can see that because we knitted with the pink strand the whole way across, on our side of the work is a row of pink. And we purled the white, so on the back side you'll have a row of white knit stitches. To continue, you would turn your work so that it's your left needle, and you would continue doing the same thing. Knit the first two strands together as if it's one strand, knit with the color you want on the side facing you, purl with the color you want away from you, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, all the way across until you get to the last two strands, and then you'll purl those two strands together as if it's one strand. That is how you do double knitting.